you there?
Oh, hey. Yeah, now I can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Awesome.
I dismantled my PC today, and
Oh,
I removed all the USB connectors and connected them back,
oh,
but in different orders or something like that. No?
oh,
And
got it.
so it's everything seems fine, but it looks like every time I spoke today,
Oh, wow.
nobody was listening. Okay. Now I was just checking it because okay. So it seems today we have no core team visitor. I'm sorry,
Yes,
people,
I think that's
because
true.
I didn't announce anyone. So
Yep.
beside
We had what was it? The guy, what's his name? Guy Fox, is it?
yep, it's Guy Fawkes. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
There we
and
go.
anonymous. I
There we
was
go.
anonymous. I was anonymous until I joined Facebook. After that, I was no more anonymous.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, good.
No.
So
So
I have all the questions that everyone asked. What were your thoughts about everyone having a voice on the channel?
we can do that. Wait a second. Yeah, I have the window open. Yeah, funny thing. I have the window open, and now you can hear some people closing their windows because uh, they can hear me
Okay,
talking.
got it. And I'm still in my work day. You can see I'm in my tie and everything. I'm just in our little
No,
sound booth
nobody
that
can
we
see you.
have
No,
here.
just nobody can see you. Nobody knows
Nice.
how you look at it. Don't let everyone talk. Hmm.
So maybe what we do is, I mean, even if you and I just talk, I would like to put out the questions and we could just go back and forth if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's why I wanted a call because I can open everybody by manually actually, but it was even last few weeks. It was nobody really wants to, uh, let's say, without any proper. Uh, any proper uh uh yeah, just on the flyby, you know what I mean. And yeah, Capex, I know what the question was, but unfortunately I'm the same guy who told you we will discuss this on Friday, but I'm no dev team, no development team. I'm maybe
Yeah,
dev, but not development.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, at this point, it was kind of interesting. I mean, we had a format. Tanner came in. I think I see where he was going with this. And then I could tell he got frustrated last week, and now he's not here. So none of this is surprising to me. I just thought maybe we pick up again.
No, it's just because we like we decided we're gonna put it separate on. You do this, I don't know, another week when both of you have time, and then we put it on YouTube on a separate playlist because
Yeah,
like I said, it's for me it's now 11:30 p.m. For you it's afternoon, and for somebody
yeah,
else in Asia it's in the morning. So
yeah,
not everybody can follow this stuff, because I was watching it today and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that last week when it was live because I was uh, distracted.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
right.
we should keep this um, let's say learning stuff or thing out of this Friday night event, because Friday night event is it's some, in my opinion. I mean, okay, I created it out of boredom. It's
Yeah,
just to have people to chat about something. And
Yeah.
so to learn everybody behind the avatar, some people don't like to be, I don't know, interviewed or something. That's okay because
Yeah.
it's a
Totally.
private it's a privacy stuff. Yeah, and nobody has to reveal himself as like, okay, this is my bank account. Check it. Look, all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess for today, uh, did you? I guess what your live mic can be live. Should we ask people if their live mics can be live? If not,
If somebody wants to, I'm reading the chat. So if somebody wants to speak out, I am just making him available.
okay. I
Him or
like that.
her,
Yeah, that
black or
works.
white, green or yellow. I don't know.
Yeah. So let me ask you about this. Last week, you had said, "Hey, you wanted to talk about what was happening in America," and Tanner just did not want to talk about that. Do you know why?
No, yeah, of course. Now it's a rule of this Discord. It's don't talk about politics, don't talk about
Okay.
religion or anything or something. And but I was just asking this because we had a break, and the first thing what came to my mind was this situation. I mean, if you read the news, I mean, everybody should read the news somewhere
Yes.
somehow, no matter on what place on earth he's staying. And yesterday I called from, let's put him this way, he's a janitor from some university. uh, uh, I'm a redneck. I'm in Europe. Most people don't know what a redneck is. I know what a redneck is because I was
There you go.
watching some comedy stuff, and it was like, yeah, I want to be and see something naked. That's a redneck.
Pretty much.
Nah,
Pretty much.
yeah, yeah,
Shoot
yeah, yeah.
stuff up and see
Nah,
something naked. That's redneck.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, it's like, uh, I mean, of course, I don't understand the politics of the United States, but I'm long enough on this planet to understand some things. And yeah, I'm not happy. I'm also not happy what European Union does. So it's not
Right.
like I'm just unhappy what America does. I mean, I, well, if you break it down, I don't care what any country does, unless it's not interfering with the other countries. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is what this is doing. No question. And yet it's a conversation. I think Martin Luther King said, riots are the language of the unheard. And it's a conversation that our country has needed to have for a long time. And it's starting. But
Yeah, but the unfortunate thing is, and it's the same in it. Just imagine, in Vienna, 50,000 people went on the. I mean, okay. First of all, Vienna has maximum 2 million citizens, and fifty
uh-huh.
thousand went on the street because of the Floyd stuff.
Wow.
And
Wow.
the
That
thing
was
is, the
surprising
thing
to
is
me.
that
Why
I
is there
mean,
so much
forty
resonance?
thousand probably don't even have an idea what this demonstration was about. And but there were kind of I don't know, let's say 50 people, which are the same like in the States, I guess. And no, it's like everywhere. It's like riot people. You know what I mean? It's like they
I
use
see.
any demonstration for some extreme stuff.
That's fair. That makes
And
sense.
yeah, and yesterday I had a Skype chat with a company. I was partnering before with my old companies, and now with the new one also. And and one of the sales guys said, "Yeah, he just flew to Minneapolis the day after," and he was like, "It was really like the day after." I don't know if you
Mm,
youngest know the movie The Day After, but because the day after was like after atomic strike, it was so different
mm,
on that day.
mm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's been boiling in America for a while. But that was my question: is why it had so much resonance in the world as well. But you're thinking, the 40, 50,000 people that massed there, 40,000 were just showing up for an event. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's let's put it this way. The basic idea of the demonstration is definitely okay. Definitely. I agree 115% with that. But uh, the thing is, most of the people don't understand the background. I mean, in Austria, Africans are immigrants. Then they haven't come here as a slave or something. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And
But
and
I mean, the
and
problem, the problem with America, and this is my opinion, is after the Civil War, there was no reckoning. There were no Nazi war trials after the America's Civil War, and because of that, there was no reckoning. We didn't say, what,
yeah,
slavery
yeah.
was
No,
bad.
yeah, I'm just reading the Discord with like John Kane says. I thought I thought politics is a no-no. But I mean, sorry, but that's what's happening in the world. We don't
Yeah.
live in a pink cloud where, oh yeah, cryptocurrencies are a savior, and we will all become rich because you know what I mean. You have to always keep your surrounding in focus. I mean, keep your friends close, but the enemies closer.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. And I know, I mean, I think one of the problems with America is that this underlying tension, black people and white people have not been talking about the same thing. And ultimately, I think that's the white supremacy, right? The white privilege that
Yeah, yeah.
America's had. It's been interesting. I look at my country differently today. It's a good country, right? But we've got a lot of problems.
Yeah, well, I want. It was back in, when was it? 1996 or 8. I was somebody from the United States, a big company, tried to hire me, and the only thing was taking. I was cautious, was or I asked too many questions because. Austria, where I live, is a pretty social state. You know, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
you have retirement and everything, and and medical without paying anything, or anything beyond $10 or something.
Oh, that's great.
And I was asking about some things, and then it took too long, and then they were bought by another company, so they stopped hiring. But I was a long time in Los Angeles, and because
Hmm.
I have relatives in Orange County, and I was also a long time in Canada because I have relatives there.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, long time. Long is for me 1 year.
Okay.
if something
That
ta- if
longs for me
something
too.
if some relationship takes longer than 1 year, either business or private, it's like eternity for me. No, but I really wanted to come to the United States and work there, and I had read all the stuff, and I was almost a professional about the what was it called, HP2 visa, the working visa, and you can do this and that and blah blah blah, and but I don't know. A year later, I was glad I haven't gone there, but just because of the hire and fire uh, uh, stuff American companies do and can do, that that's impossible actually in Europe.
Yeah. Huh.
And
Why is that? Just too much
after the second
red
time
tape?
Bush Junior was voted, I was like, no, no, no.
Hmm.
I, I gonna stay in Vienna, and
It's a
okay,
beautiful spot. I've been there once before.
that's my own opportunity. I mean, my own thinking. As you get older, you think more about the future. When I was kind of 24, I didn't care. It was like, okay, go over there, work a little bit, and then go back if it's not working out. But when you get older, it's like, okay, gonna take the girl with you, take your kids with you, or not? And
Uh-huh. So do you have a family, like kids, wife?
yeah, nah, yeah. Well, put it this way, my boy is already grown up, and I meet him sometimes at the clubs I go.
Nice.
And everybody else was kind of a limited contract, you can call it that.
Sounds cool. Where are you from originally?
No, I was born in actually I was born in Austria. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, where are
yeah.
you really? Okay.
I and well after and let's say let's count everything where it was longer than half a year. It was I lived in Tokyo. I lived in Toronto suburbs, I mean, surrounding. I mean, if you say surrounding for Toronto, Hamilton is for American distances or Canadian distances. Hamilton is a suburb compared to Austria. And then I spent actually, yeah, it was splitting, but all over I spent 2 years in Los Angeles actually. Yeah.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
Uh, that's the thing. It's always the question now or back then.
Yeah, maybe
No,
back
no.
then.
I am. Let's put it this way. Basically, I'm a specialist in electron microscopy. My education is communication electronics, and experimental physics. Then I went to the military academy, and then I have been somewhere I mm, don't want to tell you.
Fair enough.
And that's where and at the end of that, I was working. I mean, I was deployed by the United Nations for Iraqi stuff, for
Oh, wow.
the
Military.
it's the EIA. It's International Atomic Agency. No, International. Yeah, it's like I was looking for if there's if they build a atomic bomb or not, and the
Hmm.
conclusion was no, they didn't. And but even American government already said no, there was no mass destruction, something.
Right on. So are we
And
live in the
that
channel right now?
yeah, they're listening.
Okay. Okay. Very
No,
good.
I'm only saying what I'm allowed to say.
Fair enough. I for some reason thought we were in private, but that's cool. Hello, everyone.
uh, and the funny thing, yeah, no, when you watch Hive music and you see who's going online and offline, it's like if
Yeah,
you talk some bullshit, it's like drop, drop. Somebody is
that makes sense.
leaving. So, but they still all here. Either they are totally asleep, or we got fed. Federico, bonus, no bonus. It's not
Hello,
even
Hello,
bonus
Fed.
tardes.
How are you,
I
Fed?
fine, just jumping in. How are you,
I don't think
Matt?
we've ever talked in person. So
No,
where
not
in the
yet.
world are you?
Well, I'm in
Yeah.
my living room right now.
Okay, guys.
What spot on the planet?
I'm
If
out
you can
for
talk about that.
5 minutes. Is it okay?
Okay. Yep.
Yes, please go out.
So what part of the world are you at?
Yeah, I'm in North Spain.
North Spain.
Yes, in the middle of the
Awesome.
forest.
I was just about to ask. Okay, so you're in the forest, the dark forest at night. I love it. So how
Yeah,
did you come to LCC?
by the window. As- yeah, I came to LCC. I don't know. Sometimes I think that was a coincidence. Other times not. But
Yeah.
I came out as a regular user, attracted by the call that Tana, Scarlett, Loxley, and
Yes.
Roger created. I was off grid during a lot of time.
Mm.
Uh,
You
yeah,
used to go by the name O1, right?
yeah, that was me
Yep.
also. Yeah,
Yeah, you and we talked way back in April of 2018. We had direct
yes,
messaging. Yep.
yes, exactly.
That was back with the things with Mickle. You remember Mickle or whatever you said his
Yes,
name?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That was such an interesting time. So did you have any, were you just like me, just another user?
Yeah, yeah, I jumped in to this Discord server as you, as another regular user,
Okay.
without knowing from anywhere to Scarlett or Tanner or Loxley or Roger.
Yeah.
I just came in because I saw some of the old school signs on their message.
Oh, like what?
Like what? Poof. Interesting to think about it. I was involved in the early beginning of cryptocurrencies in the opposite side. I was really against it.
Oh, you were
Uh,
against crypto. Interesting.
yes, yes. Yeah, I was in my early days. I was a really economic activist,
Oh,
and cryptocurrencies sounds good for some things and really bad for others. Uh, Fiat money is is something that we can discuss a lot about it, but in these days gives some kind of freedom that cryptocurrency don't or doesn't.
mm. Do you
uh,
have an example of that?
yeah, you can exchange paper money without track.
True. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
So you the yeah local trade isn't registered at all, and you don't need to have uh, hardware uh, more specialized or not to exchange your wealth. It's just paper
True.
and a pocket.
Yep. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Or a bag, or leave it
Yeah,
under a rock. Yeah.
yeah, and the blanket or whatever you want it. It's like just that.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a thief machinery working on the creation of the money, but the trade itself, it's more difficult to be tracked. With cryptocurrency, it's quite the opposite.
Exactly. Everybody knows everything.
Yes, and
So what do you
everybody
think
means
Rialto?
everybody.
What do you think
Well,
Rialto would do?
Rialto is a great idea. As every great idea is not just popping in one place. When an idea pops out, you have different places where it pop out. And this idea is being worked in other places also. When we think about Rialto, we think about a platform that brings that Shakespeare bridge. No, it's not just a messaging app. It's not just a wallet. It's more than just that. But the thing is that we are constantly finding and living and building against the context. So that's an idea. And we started with the smallest possible idea, that is an encrypted messaging platform. No, the kind of ICQ of the 90s.
The ICQ, I'm not familiar with that.
No, where you have been.
Clearly not where I needed to be.
No, ICQ was
I'm Googling.
yeah, ICQ. Yeah, the flower one. It was one of the first ones. Was one of the first one chat messaging app in the end of 90s and the beginning of this century things.
So you see with Rialto is taking this to the next level, where messaging and transactions can take place in a secure environment.
Yes, and it's not completely a tool of secureness. It's more about securing the access to, and that are the things that we are still in completely. It's not development. It's more about to be checking with the context, because we are constantly learning. No, some of us as team are constantly learning about developing, and some of us are constantly learning about designing, and others are learning about context and how to all of that get together. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because these days we can hear a lot about secure communications, end-to-end encryptions, what are just marketing claims. No, it's
correct.
Yeah, it's not true.
The thing that I'm really so there's a coin out there called Cloak Coin, and you know I never got a chance to answer or ask Tanner this question, but back in either 2015 or 2016, he appears to have been hired by them to check their security.
Exactly.
And he wrote a paper on it, and so at the time I thought, oh, you know, LCC and Cloak Coin are going to merge at some point. But I guess not. But I hadn't even asked him how he became an expert in that space to where they hired him to verify their credentials.
Never. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, mate.
Buenas noches. Dios mío.
Buenas noches, Dios tuyo.
Gracias. About merging with the old stuff, it's like you always develop. I mean, if you go back to some old stuff, you have to obey old rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing from Turner. what you say, Matt, is like one of the things that I saw was that guy
Yeah.
that is from Clockcoin, that is involved with this, and he was also involved with other projects. I'm not going to mention because I don't know if he mentioned it, so I'm not going
Right. Right.
to be the one that opened the mouth in that direction. So, but yeah, he was involved in a kind of auditory of clock kind of security auditory about them. And it's interesting because Clockcoin has a really interesting code in some aspect of. And yeah, in some times we consider to use part of that code. But as
Oh,
I said
interesting.
before, things are constantly changing, and we are constantly putting things together and ideas, and sometimes one idea comes and goes over the another idea that was there before, and in that, yeah, sometimes things are a kind of race, and other times are a kind of dead lake, and
So how are you involved with the dev team? Are you in parts of these discussions with them then?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Currently we are a kind of dev core team of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, the first year, yeah, as I said, I joined this Discord server as O1.
Yeah. And that's where I knew you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not really feels comfortable with this kind of massive collective applications where
Mm-hmm.
people talks about community, and is this digital double schizophrenic presence where you have a lot of people that pretends to be something that is not, and all of that.
Yes. Yes.
And and I'm and I have more than 40, so I
40
started.
identities.
Yeah, I have this year. I'm doing the 46 years old. So
Oh, I see.
He's not talking about his avatars. He has no
That's what I was like. Good help.
40,
Okay.
40 times or 40 times of second life.
I see. So you and I are about the same age, Fed. I'm 48.
yeah, great.
And
So
looks like I'm the oldest.
yeah,
What? You're all of like 50?
Close to in August, I'm 50. Yeah.
yeah.
There
So
you go. So we're the same age,
yeah, it's the
basically.
same. You
Yep.
you you are, yeah, you are more damaged, but it's just you, David.
Now, do you
So
go by? Oh, keep going, Fed. So
no. Say it.
I was going to go completely off. Is it devil or is it deceivable?
It doesn't matter. It developed from DC. First, I started with DC because
I see.
my when I started, I had a homepage, davecube.com. It started maybe in 93 or 94, and it was kind of useless. It was just to have like this one, like the some virtual identity, and so it developed from DC to D, and then the copyright sign. And then I was like looking at it, and it was like, oh, it looks like I can put an evil, and you can read it as devil or DC is evil.
Okay, I like that. So sorry, Fed. I sidetracked you.
Yeah,
Here's
no,
my
no.
question.
Before
If I
your
can set the
question,
stage
sorry. Before your question, it's a lot of
yes,
thoughts
please.
about. It's a lot of thought about that avatar and name DC.
Yeah,
Yes.
Federico, wait a second. It was like it started out when I was first in internet. I don't know what's it called in English. Where you stay on a campus, but I started pretty early when I was 14, and the first day I came in into the room, and we had a 5 bedroom room, so we were 5 people from one school class in one room, and I was wearing a David Bowie T-shirt, and nobody knew the name from the other guys. So one guy asked me, "Should I call you David or Dave?" And I was like, "Dave sounds better," and I had no idea why until I took off my shirt in the evening, and I was like, "Damn, I had the Dave Bowie T-shirt on."
And what's
That's
your
where my
name?
first my real name.
Yeah.
My real name. Okay, my real name is Christian.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
There's
But
the
the funny
Cool.
thing is,
Christian.
the funny thing
I
was,
like the double better than.
yeah, no, the funny thing was with Dave was like, then after when it comes to email and everything and registration, it was like, okay, put in first name, Dave. Okay, put in second name. Oh god damn, what is second name? Second name. And I was kind of translating my second name into English, and it came out Cube. So anybody with a Google Translator could maybe. It's not directly connected, but with some twisted, you get the full name. So, but it's like the same name, but when you spell it backwards or something, it's like the digital world gives you opportunity to not. Of course, it gives you the opportunity to be somebody else, but I never wanted to be somebody else like I am. But I don't want to register it with my real name and at every internet platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So you go by Cube. That's how I know you on Twitter.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's the same. It's the same with. Yeah, I kept it kind of all the what was it, 35 years. I kept it pretty much straight. I also on YouTube. It's DevCube. Google was devcube.com, which I don't have anymore. But anyway, but so if you keep it constant, it's like you build up kind of community who knows you under that name. But also in private, when I go to the clubs or something, people know me as Dave.
Okay. And if that's your party name,
Even my last fiance, we were together for 15 years. Yeah, she called me Dave. She never called me Christian. Never ever. Not
wow.
She
even when
didn't
she
know.
was swearing at me. No, we didn't marry. No. But you know what I mean.
She married with David Cube.
Yeah, exactly. So total for a guy. No, I'm not paying. I'm not paying. I don't know who this guy is.
Send him an email.
Wow. Well,
Uh,
let me ask you real quick. And we can just figure out what we want to do with the next 50 minutes. I collected questions from everybody, and I would love to collect those questions. I would also love to finish talking to you, Fed, about kind of how you evolved in the LCC, because I know some of that history, and some of the people here may not know it, and that could be fun history to go over. Should we try all that? Finish up with you first, and then go to the questions, or what do you think?
yeah, perfect. Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Well, let's do this. So if I set the stage for LCC, these guys came out of nowhere with essentially an in-joke about Robinhood, apparently, that I had no idea about until 2 or 3 weeks ago. So there were these Robinhood guys forking Litecoin, which was a joke I didn't get for a year or so. I had no idea. Anyway, so a lot of little in-jokes. They show up out of nowhere. And then there's like this immediate speculation. I got in to get rich, to be perfectly honest, and then eventually saw that that wasn't going to happen. But then I became so interested in it, I stayed, and I've kept going. Come around, the white paper dropped in April. I think they dropped from space in May, or was that the next year that they dropped from space?
Well,
I think it was May 2018, I think.
yeah, and I cannot remember dates. Sorry,
That's
but
okay. I
yeah,
think it was because then we went into the summer, and that's when they got 51% attack.
yeah, yeah. It was before summer. Yeah, no. Since I use an automatic agenda, I'm not keeping the dates on my mind. It's like something that I learned is like I'm not using my mind to keep things that I check it somewhere else.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I for whatever reason that stuck in my head. So where did you go from being, kind of a mook on the outside like me to going into the inner workings of the group?
Well, when I joined it, I crossed some words with Tana
Okay.
uh, because he was, almost constantly around before the
Yeah.
fork and right after. And before the fork,
Yes.
some of, some users used to be working, to be sharing things and ideas. And at some point, some code or some ideas about thoughts. And with Tanner, we crossed some this maybe anarchist thoughts or ways of
Okay.
organization or way of government, or in a point of idealism maybe,
Mm.
and talking about the old days. And I've been just there and collaborating, and from there then they took it Cypher.
Cypher. I remember that.
Yeah,
Who was Cypher?
who was a guy that offered them the service of administrate and
Okay.
moderate the channel,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I think
server.
I remember him. Yeah, I
Yeah,
vaguely remember him.
yeah, and yes, so he started to put things in order, and I said, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what the fuck is crypto, or what the fuck is
What the fuck is
Cypher?
this server now?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I joined a place where some people was talking about something, and now this is going, in a wrong direction, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So when I said that, Scarlett and Tanner say, "Okay, thanks for calling our attention, and come
Mm,
in. You are now a mod."
got it.
So okay, I say, okay, yes. I don't know if I want it, but I keep myself collaborating actively
Yeah.
with the community, and and at some point shouting about this, that if we are talking about community, must be a place where community can be involved and not another shitty place. But
Yeah.
there was some people that pretended to be collaborating as that one was Cypher, another was that Faye was Cowboy Crypto. There was
I
another guy.
remember Crypto Cowboy. Yep.
Yeah, that one.
And
That
Mickle was one of the early ones too.
yeah, exactly. And then Biomech, and then
I
yeah,
I remember
had no
Biomech.
I had no idea about these stories. Even I learned something new
Yeah, Biomech.
because
I want to say. I want to say
I
Biomech.
joined the last year September, and
Okay.
everything previous I had no idea. But continue, please.
And this is all just so you're fed. You're probably talking in March of 2018, maybe April of 2018, right? This is
yeah,
how this is all coming together.
yeah. I joined it in I joined it before the fork, the
Okay. And I
server.
joined right at the fork, like a day or two before is when I joined.
Yes,
So you were
yeah,
before me.
yeah, and I remember you.
Okay. Well, and I remember you under your 01.
Yeah. Now we have a love story.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm not going to tell anyone about our night on the bridge. That
You're
was beautiful, and that
bonding.
was
You're
between us.
bonding. You're
Yes,
bonding.
that
Share
night
us
on the
again.
bridge was very special.
Yeah, yeah, and this like Dr. Shah was another huge
Yeah,
one that
remember
was
him?
helping a lot. Yeah, um, and some of that people that started that period of engaging the community or the plain users in some way, like between the old core 4 and the community, we started to work out something. But some of that user wanted to have more power,
Yeah,
more information, and more space to participate in the decision making process.
yes.
So people started to complain, and I don't know if I don't know. Some time ago, I was checking dates, and I was amused, but the thing that people was claiming for I don't know a white paper 2 weeks after fork.
Yeah,
No, like it's a lot of time after fork, and you need to present a white paper. It's like what the fuck? No,
I
it's
remember
It's the
this.
same, but it's the same with Ring at
yes,
the
of course.
moment.
I suppose it is. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, part of the old school process is that we are learning from the experience.
Yes.
We are not presenting something done, because if we present something done, we are presenting a product that is probably to be scam in some point,
Yeah.
because it's something old that is already created and is not attending to the present and constantly evolving situation.
Mm.
In these both cases, first, in the beginning, the core 4, then some of us joined that reduced space, and then with Ring, we were we been there. The core team was raised to 10. So 10 people created Ring.
Yes.
In a
I see what you're
way
saying.
that,
Originally, 4 created LCC. Good point.
Yeah, yeah. The four creators of LCC was Tanner, Scarlett, Loxley, and Roger, where some of us joined in the early beginning as Pieshivo or me. Pieshivo
Pishivo.
joined.
So that's how he says it.
Yeah,
I've never known how to say that. Pishivo.
yeah, Pieshivo. Pieshivo. Yeah, it's from Polish, and you have to pronounce it a bit weird. I'm not really.
Pishivo.
Yeah, I'm not really doing it very, very well, but I'm so close.
Better than me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's part of the Spanish pronunciation that
There
you
you
have
go.
some closest points with Polish. It's interesting.
Hmm,
But
that
Pieshivo,
is interesting.
yeah, Pieshivo joined it before me and was one of the earliest supporters. He was developing a mining pool. He was,
Hmm.
doing a lot of things in the early beginning. And from there, from that time, uh, we were the only ones that joining in that stage. Then, right before or right after, joined some of the other users, but during the time they were joining the first, what was the mods team or mods, group or mods role,
Hmm.
till the point that was necessary a change. And after Ilir Gate,
So yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's so funny. So he was the original Gashi, right? That's who you're talking about.
Ilir Gashi was, but rise a situation
Can
that
you
was
talk about
illegal.
that? Can you talk about that?
What do you want to know?
Just what the hell happened? Like it just he was there and then suddenly he's promoting what Bitcoin Cash or something
Yeah,
for I think it was Litecoin and then Bitcoin Cash. What the
well,
hell?
what the hell? It's an interesting thing. Uh, some things are going. I really don't know.
Sure.
Uh,
And
at,
gossip isn't interesting to people. I don't know why but I'm always fascinated.
yeah, it's me too. I really enjoy this stuff. As I told you, I've been really cyber involved 15 years ago. Then
Okay.
12 years ago, I stopped and went to the forest for 8 years. I've been completely off grid without
Seriously.
mobile phone, without anything. And around 4 years ago, I
The
started
guy,
to
the guy who
reconnect
lives in a ton.
No way.
You
I live in a
wow.
castle.
So do you live in an actual castle? Like an
Not
old actual castle?
it's not a castle. It's a 400
E-
years
e-
old house.
Awesome.
every house you own is your castle.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I can endorse that, Devil. I endorse that. That's great.
yeah,
If you don't have a loan on it, it's your castle, it's your chateau, it's your everything.
yeah. And more if
The
you
Heimat.
build it. No, more and if you build it. If
If you
you
build it
do
for
it,
sure.
if you do it with your hands.
I paid them to build it, but
Yeah, yeah. That's another way of be connecting with the things. I this last time I decided to build it by my hands. Uh, and
wait a second. We have interesting run up in the general chat. It's about decentralized or not decentralized money. It's pretty funny because QWERTY blah blah. Sorry, guy.
QWERTY UEO crypto. QWERTY
Yes,
UEO crypto.
Bitcoin isn't born of decentralize your finance. Uh, yes and no. I mean, the funny thing is, a lot of people went into crypto without having any idea what it is, because
That is me.
they only read one line. It's like it's let's say ECB independent money, and no matter what's happening, your money is safe. That's bullshit. That's
I agree.
yeah. I sometimes I'm so sick of it to explain to people even what crypto is. I mean, the funny thing was, well, no, okay, I'm drifting, but anyway, it was like I spoke about Bitcoin, and I spoke about cryptography, blockchain, and cryptocurrency, and after 20 minutes they said they said yeah, okay, we got it, but what the fuck is Bitcoin? And I was like,
It's a
yeah,
good question.
it's a product of this blockchain idea. I mean, the
Yes.
blockchain
Yes.
is nothing. I mean, the blockchain is everything, but cryptocurrency is just an idea which developed out of how to use this blockchain. I mean, okay, Satoshi started to use the blockchain for Bitcoin, and so the blockchain started. And that's the kind of problem we all have in cryptocurrency is people don't understand. People think it's blockchain is only cryptocurrency.
Correct. Rather than cryptocurrency is a flower on the blockchain vine, right?
The blockchain is a copy of a copy of a copy, which doesn't fault. It's not like the human genome or something where if you copy a genome or like reproducing in your body, making faults in the copy, but digital copies are not faulting.
They are
That's the
perfect.
blockchain.
I love that. Well, let's do this. Federico, we're going to leave you in the forest with your 400-year-old home that fascinates me. I actually have more questions, but we've got about a half hour left. Let's go to the questions that we gotten earlier. Lit had a few questions. I thought they represented a good introduction. So into our conversation. So number one, what do you need to know about cryptocurrency or LCC as an investor? How do you answer that? I have my own idea. My first thing is nothing. Just jump in. It's not responsible.
Yeah, that's the point. It's like it's worse when you know more about it. Because that doesn't help.
I
If you
agree.
think about crypto, if you think and you learn about cryptocurrency, if you became, I don't know, a kind of Bitcoin maximalist, if you start to think that cryptocurrency is the solution of everything, that's it, you are done. Yeah.
Do you think that's where Tanner was going with trying to describe the programming? It was to kind of get us all into a base reality of you have to think, I guess, at the understanding, at the end of the day, this is a computer program. It's not a panacea.
Well, I cannot say what was thinking, what
True,
Tanner
I
was
can't either.
thinking.
True, I have my ideas.
And after being working closely with Tanner for the last 2 years, I'm far away from before to say what he was thinking.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I really don't know what that's a question for him. I can say that, as I said in the beginning of this chat, I was really, really in the opposite side of cryptocurrency. I was in the early, I was in the early 2008 and 2009 discussing before this was releasing, and after, right after, I was when some discussions in some IRC chats were happenings, and some forums were about electronic money. I was quite in the other side, because I thought, and I was thinking that this is not in any way a way to freedom. Right now, I really don't know. I stopped to think about it. I don't care about it. And
so don't care about it, but why are you involved? That is quite the little journey.
yeah.
Wait a second. The thing, Federico, you started 2008. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay. Okay, it totally slipped my attention. That's the funny thing of my side. I don't know why, because I'm always looking for new opportunities and everything. And even after the crash, 2000, when was it? 2018, when it went.
No, 2008. 2008.
Yeah, also 2008, but yeah, you started 2008. But when Bitcoin crashed, 2017 to 2018, when it hit its low of 3,200 something, it doesn't matter, euro or dollars. Even when I read about it back then, 2018, I was like, yeah, that's still a good idea.
It's a really good idea. It's a really good idea.
It's yeah. The only thing is, it was Nakamoto did one failure. It was too small calculated, meaning the whales can easily, if now I wouldn't say me, but if somebody puts really big money into it, it can influence the value too much. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess that everything is a matter of perspective, you know, because in the time that that person of group of people that created this and signed it as Nakamoto created and started to make it roll was just fine. Was another experiment. Things about electronic money started in the early 80s of the last centuries.
Yeah, like cyberpunk.
E-cash.
Not even e-cash. It's just like your Visa or everything. It was electronic.
Yeah, but not what wasn't the same. The thing was something that was cryptographic protected and non-traceable, and based specifically in electronic money and not related with fiat money or whatever other thing as Visa or other digital fiat money. The thing was that the experiment started in the early, I guess that was 1981 or 1992. I cannot remember right now. That was one of the first papers was created. Then became all of this about the algorithm, SHA algorithm from NCA and NSA, sorry, and all of this that is used all around in trade agencies. And yeah, SHA-1 and SHA-2 are all around the world used to create tokens for security reasons.
Yeah, that's what Tanner talked about last week, and was very fascinating to me. This idea that a hash function is what is it? A state. You can take an unstable input and create a stable output. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, keep
So
going. Sorry.
no, it's fine. So all of that was there. People was discussing this. I've been in the more in the economic social area of activism or hacking activism, not in this cryptographic area. I was just more involved in, with people in humanism, and but when people started to talk about it, I was saying, in the early days, like this bullshit.
Yeah, this guy, this anonymous guy Fox avatar in Twitter.
No, and
So
this,
what changed your mind? How did you go from this is bullshit to I want to support it and make it work?
well, what made me time
Time?
being, time as usual when you give things
You
some
mean
time.
you mean age? You mean age?
No,
Now, something that keeps coming to mind when I think of you, Fed. Oh, did we lose someone? But the question I had, if you're there, is whether you've heard of the book Iterating Grace. Everyone's gone. I don't know. Can
say it again.
you're back?
Sorry.
Yes.
No,
Have you heard of
I can hear. I can hear you. I can hear.
Have you heard of the book Iterating Grace? No.
Me not.
Okay.
no.
It's the reason I thought of it is it involves someone kind of like you who was right in the middle of tech world and then left it all to essentially connect with nature. So
Yeah.
it's written by an anonymous person, but I was hoping to out you as the author, but it sounds like that's not going to happen.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Wasn't me. Anonymous was a really good author for a lot of things.
and
Since
I am neither denying or
Oh, good. So
no
Dave
no
Cube may
no
or may not
no
be
no no
iterating
no
grace.
but it's the same. There was like this week on I'm listening to sorry to interrupt this conversation, but this week was listening to the Modern Investor, and he mentioned some documents who appeared on YouTube. It's like the story of Bitcoin and blah blah blah. But it's pretty old. It's like from 14 or something. But nevertheless, they mentioned Neil Stevenson, which is an author. I had the books. I don't know. I had it somewhere in the 90s. It was like Snow Crash or something. It was he wrote it before the actual internet started. It was about a guy who is actually just a pizza delivery guy, and he lives in a virtual world, and they pay like virtual money, and actually that's what's happening now. Okay, bombshell. I know. Okay,
Yeah.
Google Neil Stevenson. But it is the same as like with Gibson, with all
Oh
Johnny
yeah.
Mnemonic and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I read this stuff when I had a broken leg, and I sent I was on my parents' side when I was 22 or something. I sent my dad every second day. I sent him to some bookstores to get me more of William Gibson because
William
I
Gibson
read
is
it
fun.
within 2 days. I read once. It was amazing. It was amazing, and it still is.
Yeah, I've done Philip Dick. I've read a lot of Philip Dick, and I'm just starting William Gibson. But Neil Stephenson's one I wanted to pick up.
It's a
That's
good
awesome.
recommendation. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, Fed, I interrupted, but it just
Continue.
came to
No, I
my mind.
appreciate.
You know how I am. It's always impulsive.
It's the way of the cube.
So,
Way.
yeah, no. Fat knows me since I
It's
started
perfect.
here
Yeah,
in the chats, and it's it's awesome because no, because I I, I always say what's on my mind. I'm not the guy who like, yeah, everything is fine, and I. So personally, you don't like it, but you say it's cool, and I'm not the kind of guy. That's why I always say, and that's why also my Twitter says I'm a business punk. If one of my cooperators or something don't like what I do, or something, I said, yeah, well, fuck it. I mean, you don't have to hang with me just because of reputation or something.
Fair.
yeah. That was one of the things that I really appreciate for this guy when I first read it. I'm talking about you, David.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I think. You know, this is a beautiful relationship. Do you mind if I throw out some more questions? And we've got about 16 minutes left, and I wanted to make sure we got to everyone's questions. Now,
Yeah,
Lit had
please.
2 more questions, and we'll just finish them. He wanted to know how to earn crypto LCC and what kind of talent is needed
It's a
or in
she. It's
demand.
a
Oh,
she
she, excuse me, Lit, excuse me.
from the Netherlands. Yeah.
I am horrid to genderize like that. I apologize. So Lit, she wanted to know. So it seems to me the quick answer on how to earn crypto is Hive pool. It's the best way I know to earn crypto without much money.
Sorry, I disagree.
Okay, this is why we're talking. Counterpoint.
Okay. Before I go for a cigarette, every time I put something in Apple, I went short. I mean, not short in the stock market way. I went short of earnings. The return of investment went negative. Yeah, it was because of I put too less or too much or at the wrong time or something. I say everybody asking about Hive pool on the Discord or Hive pool even on the wallet. It's a bet against the odds. You know what I mean? It's you say your workers will make some money, maybe not, but
True.
some people think it's like a staking or something. It's like where I have to get at least, I don't know, some percentage out of it. That's not true. It's you're putting something into work to mine, but there's no guarantee. That's my opinion. That's it. And I go for a smoke. Later.
What do you say, Fed?
What I say? Earning crypto is an interesting question. In some, at some point, I guess that you have 2 options: going to the market and buy some and trade and speculate with this, that was one of the discussions in the beginnings that I don't like it. In the other option, you can collaborate and participate in some projects and earn some in exchange of your work, time, skills, expertise, or whatever, or just asking for money in a faucet. Everything depends how you create a relation with the environment, and what are you expecting for. With the explosion of Bitcoin in what was 2018, or the end of 17, December 17, and
Yes.
beginning of 18, everything became mad, because it was a really huge bubble where people started to talk about the awesome investment that means being in crypto. So yeah, a lot of people started to think about money and US dollars or euros or whatever, not in crypto. Crypto
Yes.
is just a bridge between money and dreams.
That's really interesting. But
Yeah,
it doesn't have its own sense of value.
yeah, no, at all.
Hmm.
It's just a bridge. So people use it to leverage, their dreams.
May I interrupt again?
Please,
Once again,
Again,
I'm
please.
sorry. I'm
do
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry. I really had to give away a cigarette on my balcony just for because I was listening in the headphones and I was like, "What the? Oh, the." Now the problem is every like SEC or Ring or whatever, even Ethereum. Is connected to Bitcoin, and that's the fucking thing. And the other thing is Bitcoin is connected to the US dollar. Sorry, Matt. It's
It doesn't harm me personally, but it
yeah,
is.
you know what I mean. It's kind of fucked, yeah, because like okay, now you have some euro stable coins or something, but for Tether, I lost kind of 5% in the last half year holding Tether because I was switching. You know what I mean? And I am and I was a trader, so uh, I have no big minus. I have a big minus and not real big, but I'm minus in SEC, but only because of trading. And the fucking thing is, I want I want SEC to be huddle. You know what I mean? Keep it steady value, but with some exchanges, I don't mention anybody. It's kind of impossible.
Yeah, definitely agree with you.
So let me ask you this, Fed, because I hadn't realized this. So, what was your experience in the computer industry? I mean, because you were clearly in it from a very early age, if you're talking eCash back in the 80s.
Yeah, no, but I was in, out, uh, with. I'm not a programmer. I started to learn and programming at the age of 12, and I quit
Mm-hmm.
right after. Uh, and I really don't like it, but I'm more involved in human relationships, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah. To this project, I brought what I brought is an interesting thought. More about to consider.
I would say you're more the
What?
psychological guy.
I'm a what?
The
A
psychological
psychological guy.
about
So I would call you a philosopher.
Yeah, some people say that. I'm yeah. I'm this about designing context, right? That's my playing job. It's like a kind of uh, working with dynamics and human dynamics and bringing things together uh, in the aspect of the product. And I participate straight in Hive product in
Hmm.
Hive mining thing, uh, and and yes, yeah, I have a mix between some technological skills and human things, human skills, but I'm more comfortable these days with the human part of my practice. So
Very
yes.
good. So when you went to the forest of Spain and in your 400-year-old home, how did you support yourself, if you don't mind me asking? That's
No,
so intriguing.
yeah, no, I really don't care about talking about money. It's not the problem. It's for some
Yeah,
people it's a taboo, but it's no, it's bullshit. Uh,
I like that.
yeah, how support myself? Well, I earn my life when I born, so
Yes.
that's something that is interesting because people think that they live to earn their life, no? So uh,
very wise, very wise. That's true. That's true.
I,
yeah.
I, I, c- I completely agree. Let me ask you this, and this is a little bit similar, a little bit completely off topic. One of the questions, and I forgot who asked this question, but what they wanted to know was why was Ring on the roadmap of LCC? And that was a question I wanted to ask you earlier when you mentioned that four people.
That was capex. That was capex.
CapEx, thank you.
Uh,
So CapEx asked
and
that.
yeah, but unfortunately, he is not in the voice chat, and he's I think he's Russian, so he was using a Google Translator.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's ask this, Fed, because you were part of the creation of Ring. Why is Ring on the roadmap for LCC?
Why? Because uh, we created from LCC. In LCC project, we created a team. From the core 4, we built a core 10 team. Where in the environment of LCC, after a year and something, we brought a new product, a new algorithm that was Hive to the environment,
Okay.
and we wanted to really share and demonstrate that we were not creating a new project to, I don't know, cash out and run away, or a new project to reward ourselves and and walk away of SEC. Was more about we brought something, we thought about something, we designed something that was that that started in LCC day by day job in LCC environment, but it's not suitable for LCC context. So
I see.
we had to create a new context to develop those ideas. That was Ring, but was part of LCC, and is a kind of branch, a kind of sideway road that born in LCC project and is led and created and developed and whatever from LCC team. That was the reason, the main reason that we remains as LCC team and not created a new kind of team name or whatever.
Yeah. And if I had to say, so really Ring was created by the team of 10 who had come together to support and further LCC after its creation.
Yes.
So the team of 10, I've done some math here. Obviously there's you, Loxley, Tanner, Roger, Scarlett, Pieshivo.
Yeah.
He's part of that. Kazbrahan, Ilya, not
Yeah,
Gashi, but Ilya,
Beachco.
and Night Hash. Who else
I'm
am I
Fred.
missing?
I'm Fred.
And Fred. What about Rab Tai? Or is he the one who brought about Hive Pool?
Braptai came after last year. Yeah, I guess that was last year, or was the end of 18. If Braptai is around there, I can answer that. But because
He's online.
yeah, I don't know if he's listening, but on working another thing or drinking whiskey, but maybe he joined it in the end of the. That's you said.
Yeah.
And go through the the place without using the road is useless.
Yeah.
But we
Great
cannot
point.
create the cars, we cannot create the trucks, we cannot create the bikes, we cannot create all of the things that goes on the road. That's the people that needs to create it.
That's a diversifying. Yeah, the road. But if nobody knows that there's a road, nobody will drive on it.
Yeah, yeah. And at some point, that's experiment. You know, that's the thing is when in the early days people start to say, no, this is a scam, LCC is a scam or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Charlie, what's his name, even said that.
yeah, no, Charlie is a really huge one person with a huge ego that created a lot of things and was founder of Litecoin, but also
Correct.
Coinbase, and
Yep.
was there also in Google. And he has a really big journey working in technology and things. But the thing was, the difference with Bitcoin was that there was, in Bitcoin, nobody is going to claim the name of Bitcoin because Satoshi Nakamoto is there. In Litecoin place, you have the founder that
Yeah.
loves to be the one that created and is there. And but the funny thing is that as every school project, Litecoincash was created without ICO, without an ICO,
Correct.
without private token sale, without was created with a fair mining start, was created with a fair initial distribution, and looking for a wide initial distribution. So that was an experiment. And that's the
Ring is
part.
the experiment to get the wide distribution by borrowing those chains or
Yes,
connecting to those chains. Okay.
yes, yes, and make it more deep. The idea of an iPhone, the
Yeah.
initial offering was to create that, and Ring brings that again. That was a concept that wasn't exist before, and to put things again in an experiment mode, putting things different, coin, states, history together, different blockchain addresses together to spread this new wealth. That is just that, an experiment.
Guys, I would like to promote Ring as the new iPhone, but you have to really show the people.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, but you have two options: a lot of money to promote it, marketing as an iPhone,
And
or
as sorry, as I said, internal, it's uh, it's the percentage who somebody devotes to the uh, base unit when creating some bees or dwarfs. Why not raise that value?
uh,
I'm not sure what you mean.
When you create some bees, you can say, you can check mark to participate some of these bees or some of these SECs to the community or to SEC.
yeah, the percentage of the money or the coins that you spend creating a bee or a dwarf that goes to the community fund. Are you talking about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing is, yes, but the balance with that is, if we raise it or we put it like an obligatory thing, is that we create a tax.
Mm. And you don't want to create a tax, of course.
And we don't want to create a tax or an obligatory
Good
tax.
point. Good point. Good point. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shit because it's so easy. It's created. Is people is so used to that, but we don't.
Yeah, but the other coins, I can't mention, but they have a fund like about that, about like 50%,
Yes,
and they're still and they are at the top plus 100.
yes,
Why not
yes.
we? Why not we?
Ah, temptation, my friend. Always
Yeah.
is about, yeah. It becomes centralized, and yeah, could be easy. You have more funds in your hands, so you can promote and sell it better.
Yeah.
You can pay for a crew of people promoting it and hyping it and everything. It's like, I don't know, for example, a PR service, a public release service, a press release
Oh,
service.
yeah, PR. And
A
that's
PR,
essentially what Gashi was supposed to be, that, right? Before that blew up.
yeah, well, we have that question in there yet, but but about illegate. That
Yeah, illegate.
But before that, a PR service, a professional one, but a not so expensive, charge you around 3,000 US dollars
Yeah,
for a
not
month.
cheap.
It's not cheap, and in my opinion, is almost bullshit. But it's something necessary to make a kind of foundation for promoting. Is
Yeah,
a lot of
Yeah,
money.
yeah. Guys, the problem is that the problem is value, the all over value. It's it's also the 24 hours value, but it's like I said, I don't want to mention the coin, but 50% of that coin is in their hands.
Energy,
So
energy.
so yeah, I said I know what I meant. Yeah, you're true. You know what I mean? It's more. Actually, it's more than a scam. It's like it's a fake value.
Well, everything is a fake value, my dear friend. Everything. Everything that you put
Not
in
not
money
not not
is a
my
fake
gold.
value.
Not no.
Yes,
Don't tell me that my gold
including
is fake value.
including your gold and including your TT, both.
No, I paid
It's a
my
fake
TT
value.
is paid off. It's paid off, and my house is paid off. I never had
Yeah,
any loan on anything, so
yeah,
that's
it's
but
all
fantastic.
it's a fake
yeah.
value. Uh, uh, it's what Matt asked before, how I pay my living. I really
Yes,
don't pay
yes.
my
How do you
living.
support?
I, 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 well, I when we started with the off-grid period, we started more
Hmm.
radically, like we exchange everything. We don't use money. We have a huge garden, and we live in a really, what people said, depressed gray countryside area.
Hmm.
So people is more close to the land, and people is more close to their traditions. So we refurbished the house without paying anything, almost anything, and we started to support, because we came here after being living in different countries and places. So we came here with an open mind, and we started to support local projects. We stopped to work in global projects. I've been working for some years before in international cooperation aids. So I came here and decided to stop to work internationally and start to work more in local things, really local things. Uh, so with that, in we decided to transfer the technology, to transfer experience to people that don't have really access to that. In that way, you really need just a bit of money to live,
Hmm.
just for luxury things. And in that aspect, I don't know. I'm using, for example, I'm using Apple uh, and yeah, devices and Macs from the last 25 years. So they are the expensive ones. And I've been 15 years working in the film and advertising industry. So the thing is, money is something that you really don't need if you live in another place that is not a city.
Okay.
And with that in mind, you can live really cheap outside of a city. And if you do not pretend to be in a city, because that there is another thing that makes the thing to to polarize it. No, if you go to, I don't know, some places in Africa or Asia or South America, or even in North America or in Europe, that there is really poor people that needs money, but there is the complexity of the system.
Yeah.
It's more
So
expensive.
really,
Yeah.
so really, you're saying, I mean, my question comes from a time frame of being in an expensive, or a point of view of being in an expensive system. Whereas if you leave that system like you did, it's very sustainable.
Yeah.
With essentially your effort.
Yes.
Growing a garden.
Yeah, and there is access places in the world that you just can be living there, and you really don't need anything else. If
Guys, basic idea of the cryptocurrencies, feed the unfed, means actually North USA or Europe or anybody, actually we are too wealthy for understanding what's the need of the blockchain or cryptocurrency is.
That is true. I think that is a powerful point, Dave. You're absolutely right. And the reason, I guess I should say, what I connect with, I connect with that is that it's because I already have a complex series of financial instruments.
Yeah, exactly. We have our
If
bank
you're
accounts.
poor,
We have
yes.
our credit cards. But some guy in Venezuela, what they earn, what was like I said, it was on YouTube now blasting. They earn $6 a month. I mean, come on.
But you're right. Someone like that who isn't as part of the banking system, I have to go to my next appointment. So I'm gone next week. We had talked in a private channel about the week following. Do we want to continue this conversation? Try to bring someone else in? Because I feel like at this point to talk about where cryptocurrency fits in, I think would be a very interesting topic.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like it.
If Federico has the time, I should be available depending on the weather, because the clubs are open until 1 a.m. Yeah, yeah. I looks like I never learn. Yeah. I know.
You can David, you can stream online from the bar.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe. Yeah, no problem. Wait a second. Depends on if the Viper room is down below without any connection. But okay, I can manage. Okay.
Well, thanks, guys. It's been a real treat. Let's just. I think the suggestion was let's plan for 2 weeks from today, and take it from there.
Yeah, let's see what next week. I mean, okay.
Okay.
If you get Matt, if you get time, we can chat about anything happening in the crypto and the regular scene. If Tana or somebody don't intervene when we talk about politics.
No, and it's nice the idea of having a round table, and also if Tanner jump in to talk about politics is really interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't force anybody to talk about politics, but I have been always into some economy, and the fucking thing is really to say, I hate it to say, but politics is connected to economy, and
Yeah.
that really sucks.
Yes.
No, sorry, when
Yes.
you said politics, I think economy. Because
Yeah.
it's almost the same.
Yeah.
It's part of. Then we can talk about football.
Unfortunately, yeah.
No,
Well,
it's not
gentlemen, it's
unfortunate.
been a pleasure. I
Yeah.
am going to step out, and we will talk soon. Real
Thank
pleasure, though.
you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fed.
Thank you very much, Matt. And
We'll
thank
do
you,
this again.
Dave, Chris, David.
Love you
Dave,
all.
Cube
Don't
Christian.
mention my name too
Much
often.
love. Okay, that's right.
Same to you.
Good
Love
night,
you
Fed.
all.
Bye.
See you later.
See ya.
Evening. Bye.